I suspect that I started this conversation today because I'm driving out to see my dad and his parents. And it's a complicated trip. I don't feel safe, emotionally safe, in terms of having my boundaries respected. And I don't have anywhere to stay. I have to get a hotel. I have to pay for a hotel to go see my family because in the midst of the work, generational trauma, exploring all of this stuff, there's a whole bunch of people in my family who just don't believe in COVID, are not vaccinated, are not taking any precautions. To go see your own family and say, I don't feel physically safe from a demonstrably harmful disease that my child is not vaccinated against. Will you have a conversation with me about how we can work together to do that? That's just not an option. The conversation just doesn't happen. And certainly if we can't talk about COVID, which we can all see the effects of course, trying to have a conversation about emotional safety is met with, I don't really understand why you can't just forgive, why you can't just get over it. This is the last time I'll be going to the rest of the year. We're not going to be participating in the holidays anymore. Once the COVID conversation is off the table, then there will still be the emotional safety and emotional health conversation, which I don't anticipate going any better than it is now. And so there's a bit of a, I don't know. I don't want it to be like this. I want to have adult, mature conversations about what the experience is for each individual and then talk through how things can be different. It's such a simple request that I'm making. I've got my hoga with me and this view, and I'm going to do what artists do. I'm going to make art out of my pain.
Kill the light, so baby close your eyes. The way you're looking at me, you got me mesmerized. Something I can't escape, feel like I'm lost in space. You got that good loving, girl, if you
Unhealed childhood trauma manifests itself as fixing others, people-pleasing, codependency, external validation needed, living on high alert, fear of abandonment, deprioritizing your own needs, need to prove themselves, tolerate.
A happy chronic fatigue update. Or maybe another confusing one. I managed to get a last minute massage yesterday because the thing happened again. It doesn't happen once a month, but every few months, every other month, I'm not sure. My shoulders and neck get so tight that I start to feel nauseated. I can't eat. I'm very irritable. The pattern in the past has been that when my period kind of like knocks me out of my flare, that I get about 7 or 8 days, maybe even 11, where I feel much better and can get a lot more done. And sometimes, like even now, I feel 100% myself. That's the biggest sort of blinking, I don't know, it is almost strange. I'm curious if others can identify with this, to not feel really bad. I am in that space so infrequently that I will feel almost like I fell into it. Like I look around and think, oh my goodness, I'm not in pain, I'm not irritable, I'm not nauseous, I'm not weak, I'm not fatigued, I'm just Jenna. It's difficult to sleep, and that massage seems to have relaxed me enough. On top of, I started bleeding today, and last year when I was on that really awful carb heavy diet that just did so much damage to my body, with the metabolic clinic, I started noticing this really strong pattern around my symptoms ceasing when I started bleeding.